When a woman experiences anger, the way she expresses it is one of the clearest indicators of her character. Anger, after all, is a natural human emotion, but how one channels it distinguishes maturity from impulsiveness. A woman of true character will not allow anger to control her completely. She will express her emotions without crossing the line into cruelty or manipulation. Her words may be firm, but they will not be designed to wound. In moments of anger, she maintains dignity, showing that respect for herself and others is more important than temporary satisfaction. Many people think that anger justifies harsh behavior, but character is tested precisely in these moments. When she is angry, a woman of strong moral fiber chooses to communicate clearly rather than lash out blindly. She knows that the intensity of her emotions does not excuse disrespect. Instead, she takes a moment to process feelings and respond thoughtfully. This demonstrates emotional intelligence and self-control, two qualities essential to understanding her true nature. Anger becomes a mirror, reflecting her patience, empathy, and capacity for fairness even under pressure. Anger can be fleeting or persistent, but how she handles it consistently reveals deeper truths. A woman who lashes out with insults or manipulative tactics shows a lack of self-discipline. On the other hand, a woman who can express dissatisfaction constructively demonstrates resilience and strength. She does not seek to dominate or punish, but to resolve and clarify. Her anger is a tool for communication, not destruction. By observing her behavior during conflict, one can see whether she values relationship integrity more than winning an argument or satisfying a momentary emotional impulse. The tone of her anger also matters. Does she speak calmly but firmly, or does she shout to assert dominance? Does she allow her emotions to cloud judgment, or does she strive to remain rational? A woman of true character can articulate frustration without losing respect for herself or others. She understands that words have weight and that temporary relief from anger is not worth long-term damage. Her approach to anger reveals her ability to balance passion with control, a key indicator of emotional and moral maturity. Another sign of character in anger is accountability. A woman of integrity does not blame others unjustly or refuse to admit mistakes. Even in heated moments, she can recognize her role in a conflict and take responsibility for her actions. This willingness to own her part demonstrates honesty and courage. She does not hide behind anger as an excuse. Instead, she uses it as an opportunity to clarify, communicate, and grow. Observing whether she deflects blame or accepts responsibility provides insight into her self-awareness and inner strength. A woman's response to anger also shows her empathy. True character shines when she considers the feelings of those around her, even in moments of personal frustration. She may be hurt or disappointed, yet she tempers her reactions to avoid unnecessary pain to others. This does not mean she suppresses emotions. Rather, she exercises compassion alongside honesty. Her ability to balance her own feelings with consideration for others reflects maturity and depth. Anger becomes a test, not of aggression, but of her capacity to act with humanity under pressure. How she handles anger in public versus private is equally telling. Some may appear calm in public, but unleash their fury in private. A woman of strong character is consistent in both arenas. She does not reserve cruelty for unseen moments, nor does she pretend to be sweet for appearances. Her character is authentic and unwavering. Observing consistency in her reactions provides a clear view of her inner moral compass. True integrity is not selective. It remains constant whether others are watching or not. The ability to forgive quickly after anger is another mark of character. Holding grudges, seeking revenge, or obsessing over past wrongs reveals immaturity. A woman who can express anger, communicate grievances, and then move forward demonstrates strength. She does not allow temporary frustration to dictate long-term behavior. This quality shows emotional resilience and the capacity for healthy relationships. Her approach to anger, including her ability to release it constructively, highlights a depth of character that extends beyond the moment and into lifelong behavior patterns. Patience is inseparable from how she handles anger. Anger tests patience because it requires restraint, understanding, and time to process emotions. A woman of true character can pause before reacting impulsively. She evaluates situations, considers perspectives, and chooses actions that reflect her values rather than her impulses. Patience under provocation is a hallmark of moral strength. Observing her ability to remain composed, even when provoked, offers a window into her long-term emotional stability and reliability in challenging circumstances. Finally, a woman's anger reveals her commitment to truth and fairness. She may disagree strongly, feel hurt, or experience frustration, yet she remains honest and just. She does not resort to lies, exaggerations, or manipulations to gain advantage. Her anger is honest, measured, and purposeful. By noticing these behaviors, one can discern whether her character is rooted in integrity or guided by ego. In essence, the way a woman handles anger is not just about conflict. It is a reflection of her principles, her respect for herself and others, and her ability to navigate life with moral clarity. A woman's true character is often revealed in how she treats those from whom she has nothing to gain. It is easy to be kind to people who can offer favors, status, or recognition in return. But true character shines when kindness is given freely without expectation. Observing how a woman behaves towards strangers, service staff, or anyone who holds no advantage over her can tell you more than words ever could. Her ability to act with respect, patience, and empathy in these moments reflects the values she carries within her soul. Many people judge a woman by how she treats those in positions of power or wealth, yet a woman of strong character does not reserve politeness and warmth for the influential. She approaches everyone with dignity, regardless of their status. Her respect is consistent, not selective. By showing kindness to those who cannot return it, she demonstrates integrity and humility. This behavior indicates that her actions are guided by principle rather than personal gain. Watching these interactions provides insight into her moral compass and reveals whether she acts out of genuine compassion or self-interest. Small gestures often speak louder than grand acts. A smile to a stranger, a word of encouragement to a struggling person, or simple patience with someone who is slow or inexperienced can reflect a woman's true heart. These moments require no obligation, yet she chooses to invest care and respect. Her behavior is consistent because her character is internal, not performative. By noticing these subtle actions, one can discern her empathy and the authenticity of her kindness. True character is not performed on stage, but displayed quietly in everyday life. A woman's generosity toward those who cannot reciprocate also demonstrates emotional strength. She does not rely on praise or recognition to validate her actions. Her heart is not swayed by reward, but guided by principle. When she helps others without expectation, she exhibits a selflessness that few can fake. Observing whether she seeks attention or acts quietly reveals the depth of her morality. A woman who treats everyone with fairness and compassion, regardless of what she gains, is displaying one of the clearest signs of her enduring character and ethical foundation. Empathy is another key aspect of how a woman interacts with people who offer nothing in return. She can place herself in another's shoes, understand their struggles, and act with consideration. This sensitivity is not superficial. It is rooted in awareness and emotional intelligence. A woman who responds with patience and understanding, even when she receives nothing tangible, shows that her values are not dependent on circumstance. Her actions in these moments reveal a heart that is generous, a mind that is thoughtful, and a spirit that is genuinely kind without expecting anything in return. Consistency is critical in these interactions. Some may show fleeting kindness, then act coldly when no benefit is apparent. A woman of true character maintains consistent behavior regardless of circumstances. Her approach does not fluctuate depending on advantage or convenience. She treats all individuals with fairness and respect, demonstrating that her values are intrinsic rather than conditional. Observing her over time allows one to see whether her compassion is authentic or performative. Character revealed through consistency is a reliable measure of integrity and a true reflection of her moral fiber. Respecting boundaries and dignity in every interaction is another mark of character. A woman of genuine integrity recognizes the humanity in everyone. even when the person cannot elevate her status. She refrains from judgment, condescension, or exploitation. Instead, she communicates with politeness, patience, and fairness. Her character is evident in her ability to honor others' worth without expecting return. Observing her behavior in these moments demonstrates how deeply her ethics are ingrained and whether her compassion is instinctive rather than performative. True character is measured not by privilege but by humility. The way a woman handles requests for help or support from those who cannot repay her also reveals her heart. She may assist without hesitation simply because it is the right thing to do. She does not calculate personal gain or manipulate outcomes for advantage. Her willingness to help unconditionally reflects inner strength and authenticity. A woman who offers guidance, support, or kindness freely demonstrates the values she embodies. These moments of selfless interaction provide clear evidence of a character rooted in empathy, honesty, and integrity. Finally, observing how a woman behaves toward people with nothing to offer demonstrates her long-term relational and social ethics. It shows whether she can form connections without ulterior motives, and whether her compassion is durable. Her interactions are not transactional, they are genuine and principled. This behavior reflects a level of maturity and authenticity that transcends situational benefits. A woman who treats all people with respect regardless of gain is showing the world who she truly is. Her character is revealed, not in what she says, but in the consistent, humble, and compassionate way she acts. A woman's true character is often revealed in how she behaves when no one is watching. Many people can act gracious, polite, and generous when they are being observed. But true integrity is demonstrated in private, how she treats situations, handles her emotions, and interacts with others in solitude, reflects the real person she is. A woman who remains consistent in her behavior regardless of an audience shows that her values are internalized and not performative. Observing her in these moments provides a clear understanding of her authenticity and moral strength. Private moments reveal the depth of her honesty. A woman of genuine character does not lie, cheat, or manipulate even when she believes no one will know. Her actions are guided by conscience, not fear of judgment or desire for reward. Whether handling responsibilities, making decisions, or interacting with others, she maintains integrity because it is who she is, not what she does for appearances. Consistency in private demonstrates that her ethics are embedded in her nature. A woman of character does not compromise her morals for convenience or secrecy. Even when her actions go unnoticed, she upholds her principles, whether making decisions, interacting with others, or fulfilling obligations. Her behavior aligns with her values. This demonstrates that integrity is intrinsic, not performative. Observing her ethical consistency in private moments reveals the reliability and depth of her moral foundation. True character is proven through alignment of values and actions, even in situations where external judgment is absent. Finally, the way she expresses gratitude and humility in private speaks volumes. A woman who appreciates what she has, acknowledges her privileges, and treats herself and others with humility even without an audience demonstrates authenticity. She does not boast, seek validation, or manipulate perception. Her private humility and respect reflect the internalization of her principles and her genuine nature. By noticing how she behaves when no one is watching, one can discern her true heart, understanding that her character is consistent, reliable, and authentic beyond the gaze of others. A woman's response to disappointment and failure is one of the most revealing indicators of her character. Life inevitably presents challenges, setbacks, and unexpected outcomes, and how she navigates these moments reflects her resilience and inner strength. A woman of true character does not crumble or lash out in frustration. Instead, she observes, analyzes, and seeks a constructive path forward. Her ability to maintain composure, think clearly, and act responsibly in the face of adversity demonstrates maturity and self-control. Observing her in such situations provides insight into her true nature. Disappointment tests patience and emotional regulation. A woman of strength acknowledges her feelings but does not allow them to dictate destructive behavior. She may feel sadness, frustration, or anger, but she channels these emotions productively rather than letting them consume her. By accepting setbacks as a part of life, she demonstrates emotional intelligence and adaptability. Her measured responses show that she is capable of learning from challenges rather than blaming others or wallowing in despair. This approach highlights her ability to transform obstacles into opportunities for growth and reflection. Failure is another lens through which character is revealed. A woman who responds to failure with humility and self-reflection demonstrates resilience and wisdom. She does not shift blame, seek excuses, or externalize responsibility. Instead, she evaluates what went wrong, understands her role, and develops strategies to improve. Her approach to failure reflects a commitment to personal growth and accountability. By observing whether she faces mistakes with courage or evasion, one can discern whether her character is rooted in strength, honesty, and perseverance rather than ego or pride. The way she supports others during her own challenges also indicates character. A woman of integrity continues to show empathy and kindness, even when dealing with her disappointments. She does not allow personal struggles to justify neglect or cruelty toward others. Her ability to maintain consideration and support despite her own difficulties demonstrates emotional balance and generosity. Observing her behavior in these moments highlights her capacity for compassion, revealing that her character is not situational but consistent, capable of maintaining moral and emotional standards regardless of personal circumstances. Resilience is key in understanding her response to setbacks. A woman of strong character does not give up when faced with obstacles. She adapts, perseveres, and seeks solutions. Her determination reflects self-confidence, courage, and a proactive mindset. Instead of being paralyzed by disappointment, she evaluates options and moves forward with purpose. Observing how she approaches problems and continues to pursue her goals, even when progress is difficult, reveals her long-term mindset, emotional fortitude, and unwavering commitment to her values. True character emerges in the persistence displayed during adversity. Acceptance is another hallmark of character in times of disappointment. A woman of integrity understands that some things are beyond her control and that not all outcomes will align with her desires. Instead of reacting with bitterness or resentment, she practices acceptance and adapts to circumstances responsibly. This does not mean she lacks ambition or passion, rather, it shows emotional maturity and the ability to navigate life realistically. By observing her acceptance of uncontrollable outcomes, one can gauge her resilience, wisdom, and ability to maintain inner peace even when external events are unfavorable. Her ability to learn from failure demonstrates intelligence and humility. A woman of true character examines mistakes carefully, extracts lessons, and applies them in the future. She does not dwell on regret or allow setbacks to define her self-worth. Her capacity to transform disappointment into personal growth reflects wisdom, self-awareness, and strength. Observing this behavior provides a clear understanding of her mindset and approach to life's challenges. A woman who grows through failure rather than succumbing to it exhibits depth, maturity, and a commitment to becoming the best version of herself. The way she manages her pride and ego during setbacks is also revealing. A woman of integrity does not let failure provoke arrogance, defensiveness, or hostility. She maintains composure, demonstrates humility, and engages constructively with challenges. Her ability to navigate ego and maintain perspective during difficult times indicates maturity and emotional intelligence. Observing whether she can face disappointment without losing grace or acting impulsively provides insight into her self-discipline and moral grounding. True character is evident in the ability to remain dignified, responsible, and reflective when confronted with personal or professional setbacks. Finally, her long-term consistency in responding to disappointment and failure reflects sustained character. A woman of genuine strength does not fluctuate between resilience and fragility depending on the situation. She consistently demonstrates perseverance, humility, patience, and emotional control. Regardless of the magnitude of setbacks, her actions reveal a stable moral and emotional foundation that can withstand life's inevitable challenges. By observing how she consistently responds to disappointment and failure, one can assess her true character, understanding that her strength, maturity, and integrity are not temporary traits, but enduring qualities embedded deeply within her. This reliability in solitude reflects maturity, trustworthiness, and self-discipline, which are essential aspects of character. How she treats her own mistakes when alone is another reflection of true character. A woman of strength admits errors, reflects on them honestly, and takes steps to correct them without prompting or recognition. She does not hide behind excuses or shift blame because accountability is important to her. In private, she evaluates herself critically, understanding that personal growth requires honesty and courage. By observing how she behaves when no one is watching, one can see whether she is committed to personal development or merely performing for others' approval, revealing the foundation of her character. Generosity in solitude is also a telling factor. A woman who gives freely of her time, energy, or resources without the expectation of acknowledgement shows authenticity. She does not require an audience to validate her actions. Whether helping someone quietly, performing small acts of kindness, or handling personal responsibilities diligently, her behavior reflects values that are deeply held. True character shines when actions are consistent regardless of recognition. Observing her generosity in private allows insight into her genuine nature and reveals a woman whose moral compass is guided by principle rather than external validation. The way she manages challenges when alone also indicates her resilience and strength. A woman of character approaches difficulties with patience, reflection, and calmness, even without witnesses. She does not succumb to panic, blame, or impulsivity, but evaluates the situation and responds thoughtfully. Her private behavior demonstrates discipline, foresight, and emotional intelligence. By noticing how she faces trials when unobserved, it becomes clear whether she possesses true inner strength or relies on external support to act responsibly. These moments reveal her capacity for self-management and reveal her core character. Her self-discipline in daily routines and personal habits is another indicator of authenticity. A woman of strong character follows through on commitments, maintains integrity, and manages responsibilities without needing recognition. She does not cut corners or take advantage of situations simply because no one is watching. Her consistency in private demonstrates reliability and accountability. Observing her behavior in these moments shows whether her values are embedded or conditional. True character is evident when actions are consistent both publicly and privately, reflecting genuine moral standards and a strong sense of personal responsibility. Emotional regulation in solitude is equally revealing. A woman who can manage her emotions, process feelings honestly, and respond appropriately when alone demonstrates maturity. She does not allow private frustrations or temptations to dictate her behavior in destructive ways. Instead, she reflects, processes, and maintains balance. Her private handling of emotions shows self-awareness and resilience. This control in unobserved moments indicates that her public demeanor is not a facade, but a reflection of her true character. Observing her emotional integrity in private is essential to understanding her authenticity. Her consistency in personal ethics is also significant.